Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Operation Sand Dune. Now it has been probably a good few weeks since my last video in this series, and today has been a fantastic day. The postman came and he did his job. He delivered a package from Warlord Games and I was very pleased with him. So in this episode or this video we're going to do two things. We're going to firstly do an unboxing of my reinforcements that have arrived, more reinforcements, and then I'm going to discuss what I will be additionally purchasing to really beef up the two forces that I'm building, which is firstly the 8th Army British and secondly the Indians of the Indian 4th Infantry Division, which I have an article coming out soon, hopefully, on the Warlord in the Warlord newsletter, which talks about the history of the division. So, without further ado, let's open up, see what we've got. I would like to thank Warlord very much for their support in supporting this project, not only for Andy and Sam but myself as well. Really appreciate all the support you give us. So let's check out what you sent me. I will apologise, I've got a bad neck, woke up and I must have slept on it wrong or something. Still learning how to sleep well, but never stop learning, I guess. Right, a bit of packaging. Excellent. So the first piece to come out of the box is a box of late war British plastic infantry. This is a great box set. I've not done one yet, but I will be doing this, and I will probably do some reviews on it, and yeah, generally get some videos on this. Looks great from what I've seen online, what people have posted. It's really good. It covers the mid-war and the late war period, and we're specifically hitting the mid-war period with the Indians, so 1942, roughly around that time. They will work for a slightly earlier period, say sort of late 41, I think, for my Indians, as the battle dress didn't change too much, and the way I'm going to equip them with the webbing and the helmets will, in fact, there won't be any helmets because, I have some Indian heads, 48 of them to be exact. So Warlord, thank you very much for those. They're going to be very useful. And I will be doing some head swaps, putting these on the plastics, and I'll probably do a video on that as well. So that's very good. Also got a BEF Vickers MMG team. Again, I won't be using these heads. I will probably save those and probably attach them another time to some plastic figures to make more RAF figures, because I love the RAF figures. I don't see many people in Bolt Action having RAF, so I quite like the idea of having an RAF force, but who knows. And I also got the BEF anti-tank rifle and light mortar team. Again, they'll have the head swaps, the Indian heads on these, which will allow me to have all the support weapons I need for the Indians. And then finally, I've got another Bedford 3-ton truck, which I really do like, and my plan is actually for this one to have an open window where you can see the driver. I didn't put a driver into my last one because I painted over the windows. This one I'm going to open up one of the windows so you can see in, you can see the driver, and I'm going to put an Indian head on him. So really excited about those. I am going to get started on building those very shortly. I'm currently building my second SAS squad, which only consists of 4 men, but all the same, I'm going to have 5 in total, plus the command team. So I've got lots to get through, but that's for another day. So yes, I've got my 8th Army. I've got 3 squads. The way I've done it is I've made them so they have 7 figures in, without the NCO with the submachine gun. We've just gone for an NCO with a rifle. So 7 figures makes up a squad, and I've got 3 of those. The reason for that is in the earlier war period, of the sort of desert campaign, you don't have the SMGs as much as you do later on. And if you have a look at the Operation Compass list, you'll see that they're using early war sections rather than mid to late war sections. I also did 3 sergeants with SMGs so that I could use sort of add them to the squad, add 1 to each squad, and then run it as an Operation Lightfoot list. So I've done that to expand it. I've got my Vickers tank now, my light Vickers tank, which is an earlier war tank. I think he's come out rather nice. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to get a Bren carrier to add to this force. I'm also going to get a Bren carrier to add to the Indian force. I also plan to get a Valentine tank to add to the 8th Army force to make it a late war or mid-war. So looking specifically at the Operation Lightfoot list, I'm going to use a Valentine rather than the Vickers. And likewise for the Indian force, which are going to be having the Crusader, which is a mid to late war tank, I'm going to be getting a Matilda 2 for them for an earlier campaign. And I'll probably be doing the same with their squad sizes. I'll probably do squads of 7 with an extra sergeant that can be added in for the later list. So that's the plan. I'm also need to purchase a £2 BEF 2-pound anti-tank gun, which will go into my Indian forces, their anti-tank weapon, much like my Brits have the 18 25-pounder. I also need to get an additional machine gun team, BEF machine gun team, for my 8th Army, and I will be probably putting a purchase in for those items in the next day or so, hopefully, fingers crossed, and all being well on the finance front. And that will complete my Indian force and my 8th Army force. And what I'll be able to do is not only play with each force individually for both Operation Lightfoot and Operation Compass, but I'll also be able to combine the two and throw 2 platoons out for either list, and that's what I've really been aiming for. On top of that, obviously we've got the SAS detachment that I'm going to be making up. Primarily, I think I've got 5 infantry squads plus a command team, and I will be throwing in, my plan is eventually to get 2 LRDG trucks, 1 SAS Jeep, and then on top of that, probably 2 German Opel Blitz trucks to transport most of the men in. I may have to get a 3rd, but we'll wait and see. I might get 2 trucks and a Horch, I think it's called a Horch staff car. I think that would look pretty good, and it counts for the transport. So that's kind of my thoughts so far. And what that'll do is it'll give me pretty much the whole of the desert campaign covered. I could go on and get American infantry and do Americans kind of coming in for Tunisia, but I'm probably not going to extend that far. By the time I get this part of Operation Sand Dune project finished, I'm going to start looking at doing an Italian force with a sort of small platoon detachment of Africa Corps. So that's the bigger picture, and we'll be getting to that probably, I'm guessing the DAC are going to be around October, November time. I'll sort of really be piecing those together. I'd like to think that this army will be done sort of late August, early September time, and there will be more articles coming, hopefully on the Warlord newsletter from me covering this, particularly the army. I'm going to be doing a construction, sort of conversion, painting article, and I'll also do one on expanding my force and showing what I've done for each of the lists. So that's what I'm going to do for this, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Who knows? I'm hoping that when I graduate from my Masters, my gift to myself for doing that will be the Italian army. So we'll wait and see, but yeah, looking forward to that. So that's it for this episode, or this video, and please check out the YouTube channel. I will be having a discussion very shortly, maybe even this Sunday, a live discussion with Andy and Sam about the progress of our forces, and certainly will be looking forward to getting some showing off some early builds for my Indian force. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you very soon on another episode of Operation Sand Dune. Till then, take care.